Well, thank you all for attending this fireside chat with Robert Kiyosaki. Of course, a man who needs no introduction, entrepreneur, investor, author of plenty of bestsellers, including Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Thank you all for attending that. Robert, let's get the discussion started immediately. I would love to ask you, in these turbulent times that we live in, with global government debt going above $115 trillion this year, the war cycle picking up, how important is it to own hard assets in these times?
Well, it's more important to get educated. I'm an educator. And both my rich dad and poor dad were educators. And my poor dad always says, he said, go to school, get your PhD. And PhD stands for poor, helpless, and desperate. When I was a kid, I had to read this book here, The Communist Manifesto. Most school teachers are communists. So be careful who your teachers are, is what I'm saying. I'm not saying they're bad people. But a Marxist believes certain ways. Marx was an alcoholic and a drunk, and he was an intellectual. And he said intellectuals should tell people how to run their lives. That was my poor dad. My rich dad never went to school, and he taught me playing Monopoly. And so today I own hotels, apartment houses, oil wells, things like this. So the most important thing is your teacher. If you have a good teacher, you get rich. If you have bad teachers, you're poor. And unfortunately, many of the bad teachers people think are smart. And so that's why it's very crucial to choose your teachers wisely. A couple more things is that this is not my book. If you can get it, it's by Philip Haslam. It's When Money Destroys Nations. Okay, very important book, because this is about the fall of Zimbabwe. I was in Zimbabwe when Zimbabwe crashed. It wasn't funny. The first thing that happened when they crashed, the dollar went out, which is going to happen to the US dollar, possibly the loonie. When the currency crashes, which it did in Zimbabwe, I happened to be there. And these guys came out to me with AK-47s. I had to put my hand up. They took everything. They took the ranch I was hunting on and all this. So when money crashes, which we're going to crash pretty soon, you got to be very careful. So that's why I own gold, silver, and the most important thing is you're here with, Jay Martin's a great guy. And the best teachers are out there. Those guys selling gold mines and silver mines and copper mines. I was one of those guys before I wrote Rich Dad, Poor Dad. I had a little gold mine. I was standing out there, and I was pitching my deal like a capitalist does. So I would highly encourage you. You're in the best place in the world to be today. You couldn't be in a better place. Go out there, talk to every one of those booths. So I want to talk to 10 booths today and find out what they're selling. Are they good? Are they bad? The reason that's important, they'll teach you a lot. But one of the biggest mistakes that people make, they buy from a stock broker. So you walk into a stockbroker or a financial planner for your RRSP or your 401k, and all you see is a symbol. By the way, my gold mine's out there. It's called a Cisco. Good one. I practice what I teach. Okay. But the advantage you have today is... Thank you. The best advantage you have today, thank you very much, thank you, is go talk to these guys, because you actually get to meet the miner. That's the best thing you can do. Or you go to a stockbroker or a financial planner, and all you see is a little number, OSD, whatever it is. But please invest in your education by being an active learner. You're in the best place at the best time in history. I've been buying silver since I was 18 years old, and I never stopped. And today, silver is $105 an ounce. You know, whew, thank God bless it. And gold is probably going to go to $27,000 an ounce. But you're in a better place than all of that. Please go and talk to the miners out there. A lot of them are bullshit artists, but you got to be careful, okay? And the last thing I want to say, I pitched my gold mine here, and we struck gold in China. I learned a big lesson. I took it public on the Toronto Stock Exchange. I learned a big lesson. So we took the company public, we went to China, we drilled biggest gold mine in Chinese history we found. I was a billionaire. I thought, oh my God. And then I learned a very valuable lesson. Country risk. Don't do business with countries you don't trust. And so the Chinese, once we took the mine, once we struck gold, they confiscated my mine. So I stopped eating Chinese food. That's what I did, okay?
Robert, some incredible lessons right there. A follow-up question on that, on country risk, like you outlined. Is the West a safe country to invest in currently?
Well, I stayed at fucking California, that's for sure. Did you see what they did? All the rich guys are leaving California in droves right now. They passed a wealth tax. I don't really know what that means, but the richest guys in California, adios, they got out of there. So be careful, even, Canada's not the most conservative place, but Canada's the richest place in the world. That's my friend Donald Trump wants to make you the 51st state. Or Greenland. But be careful where you invest. Do they respect the rule of law? And if they change the rules, sometimes you have to move. So people are leaving California in droves right now because if you're rich, they're going to take your money.
And Robert, talking about the debasement trade, which you have been covering for the last 25 years, if not more, trade implies getting out. If we are to enter an inflationary cycle, is that the wrong way to look at things?
Well, I don't give financial advice, but I've been buying silver since I was 18 years old and bought my first gold in '72. And I've made more money off of that, plus then I use how to use debt. So it's not so much what you invest in, except your education. So somebody came up to me and said, should I use debt? I said, if you're an idiot, don't use it. But, when I was, my rich dad said to me, not my poor dad, the US dollar became debt in 1971. And he said, you'd better learn how to use debt. So that's why I went into real estate, because it's really easy. Bankers are good people, but they'll invest in real estate. So I'm $1.2 billion in debt. But the debt is used to acquire hard assets like real estate. And the best thing about using debt is I don't pay taxes. This book here, Marx, it says that a graduated income tax is essential for the spread of communism. So my poor dad always said, pay your taxes. I said, I'm not a communist. So I do everything I possibly can not to pay taxes legally. Okay? And that takes education. I don't want to go to jail for tax evasion and become somebody's boyfriend. You know what I mean? I like women, not boys.
Robert, currently in this highly inflationary time, how important is the price you pay for an asset?
Your greatest asset is between your left ear and your right ear. I'll say it again. You guys could not be in a better place thanks to Jay Martin and VRIC. I love that guy. I was one of those guys out there pitching the deal. Okay, so I would strongly advise you or encourage you to go out there and talk to as many of these guys you can. Because if you don't talk to the miner directly, you'll talk to a stockbroker or, heaven forbid, a financial planner. And all you get is a symbol, OSD. Here you get to talk to the person that's going to operate the mine. And there's a rule of thumb in investing. Money always follows management. And you're looking to find out which guy out there or women out there are the best managers of your money and the mine. Because mining is a very, very tough business. Highly capital intensive. Lots of crooks in it. So be careful. But the good news is most people won't do what you're going to do. So that makes you smarter. So just go and talk to as many as you can. Find out if they're lying or bullshitting you, whatever the case is. But it's the best education you can have. Because money always follows management. It follows this guy Warren Buffett. I wouldn't follow Buffett to the toilet, because I don't like what he does. And he doesn't follow me either, so thank God. But the most important thing is find out what works for you. You're in the best place at the right time, thanks to VRIC and Jay Martin. And remember this here, money destroys nations. When gold and silver move up in tandem, in price, bad sign. So I'm getting richer, but when gold and silver moves up, historically, that means the currency or the dollar is going to collapse. So I think we're going in, I hope I'm wrong, it's going to collapse. And then we're going to have hyperinflation. And that's what I'm afraid of. And the gap between rich and poor gets wider. So since the gap's going to get wider, I'd rather have you on the rich side, not the poor side. So you're in the best place at the right time. Talk to as many miners as you can out there. Figure out if they're lying or telling you the truth or how far off they are. But you come for education, not to buy something. You come to get smarter. So thank you very much.